murder. Yeah, yeah. Coming up on the next Mental Health Matters with Marty show. Do you have dating issues? I'm so glad you asked. You're on the right show at the right time. We have the first date fix guru here with us today. Trey Hamilton, you don't want to miss this show. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Yes, hey, it's me. It's your host, Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you live and in living color in Southern California. I would say where the sun is always shining, but I just got a call that we got snow. They said snow. I say hail in Southern California. Can you believe it? Global warming is real. And let me tell you, we are real glad that you are here today to tune in with us for this exciting show that we have tonight. I'm so excited about tonight, y'all. Listen, I've been following this young man forever, and I'm so glad that he's on this show to share with us his knowledge about the first date. But before we go there, Last week, we had a time with our first week-long of men's conference called The Black Man Made Well. If you missed those 5 episodes of The Black Man Made Well, you must go back and look at that on Mental Health Marty YouTube, or you can go to the Black Man Made Well YouTube page as well. Let me tell you something. We had some of the best psychologists. We had some of the best, psychologists, therapists, yoga, all of that on there. Let me give you a recap of what happened from this past last week. On Monday, we talked about the stigmas of mental health with Black men. Yes, thank you, Daryl. You are on it. The stigmas. Look at that lineup. Those brothers, listen, they were off the chain. We had a great conversation. You got to go back and see that. On Tuesday, we went from yelling to yoga, and we had these 3 Black male yogis on here. Listen, those brothers shared from the heart and how yoga saved their lives. On Wednesday, we talked about the importance of mental health and self-care. We had the all-star lineup for that, and listen, those brothers was off the chain and talk about the importance of self-care and how self-care is self-love, and that when we care for ourselves, we have to first become vulnerable so that we find the value within ourselves. Listen, that was off the chain. Let me tell you, on Thursday, we dealt with family and fatherhood. That panel there was absolutely amazing. And we want to thank Alfred Elam from the National Saving Fatherhood Foundation for being there with us, and these amazing guests who are on there as well. On Friday, we shared finances and businesses, about Black men owning Black businesses and what that looks like. It was so amazing. You have the opportunity of going back and looking at those live shows that we did. They're going to be in that YouTube channel and embedded in both Mental Health Marty and The Black Man Made Well. And let me tell you something, they were life changing. And again, we want to give a shout out to our funders on that: Marcel Media, at Marcel Consulting and Mental Health Services, as well as Riverside University Health Systems, working with the African American Family and Wellness Family Services. So we are so excited. But as always, we want to remind you that this show, Mental Health Matters with Marty, is designed to be a psychoeducational program, and psychoeducational in that aspect. We are not capital N, capital O, capital T, underline, bold, italicized at about 100 font. We are not a substitute for you seeing a therapist. We are not a substitute for your psychologist, your medical doctor, your psychiatrist, or anything else. But we are a supplement. We want to be added into your treatment plan with your mental health and wellness, because your mental health and wellness is vital for your survival. Because we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. But y'all know what I say each week. You got to speak up, speak out, so that you might live. That's what it's all about. Now, how do you get to see and how do you engage? It is very important that you go over to our Mental Health Marty YouTube channel. Again, go over to our Mental Health Marty YouTube channel, and there we can see your comments. We want to see your comments. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to see your questions that you have for our guests, because it's so important. If you're on Facebook, starting in March, y'all, we've been sharing this since the 1st of January. We are going to be going exclusively on YouTube, just because of the algorithms that Facebook has had. It is definitely, we're not trying to ignore your comments, but Facebook does not release those to us until after the show is complete. So if you want to see your comments, want to see your feedback, you have to go over to our Mental Health Marty YouTube page. And that's how you do that. Now, what do? You got to like and subscribe. How do we do that? Like and subscribe so that you get the notification every time we come on with the Mental Health Marty show. That's what it's all about. Simple. That's what it is, y'all. So we are so glad. And for those of you who followed us last week, thank you. With that, Portia Scott, hello, darling. How are you? It was so good to see you. Now tell John Henry he is not going to be rushing us because I have not seen you, so he ain't going to be rushing. I'm talking about you'll see Marty on Thursday. We are going to dinner. We're going to have some lunch or something. But hello, darling. So good to see you, and we appreciate you. But definitely, I am so excited about this young man who is coming out here. And we want to talk about this whole logging on for love. I love that. Daryl, you did good with that one. Online dating and virtual relationships. Too often, I don't know about you, as a single black man, this whole thing of dating is so confusing, so difficult. So it's a new thing of this dating. And listen, y'all, I've been around the block a couple of times, and don't tell nobody. That's between us. Don't y'all tell my business. And this gray in my beard tells you, listen, after surviving a divorce from a 15-year marriage, and then trying to get back into this fish pool, into this pond of dating. And as someone said, I'm pretty sure this pond is full of pee because folks have been pissing all in the pond. So listen, how do we get past all of that and find the right person to date? And y'all, let's be honest. It's rough. I was like, I had actually come to the conclusion that I was just going to be satisfied being single, building my business, building my brand, raising my children, writing some books, and just doing what I got to do, because I just got so confused on this whole dating issue. But I am so glad that we have the expert, the dating the relationship guru, the dating guru, how to make this happen. And he has this amazing book, and we're going to be talking about that later, called The First Date Fix. So we have the First Date Fix guru himself, none other than Trey Hamilton. But I want you to check out this quick message that he has from his show.
Ever make plans with someone on the same day Why? If you're not busy, why would you not just accept those plans? We all claim to be so wanderlust, footloose, and fancy free. So why not just do it? Why not just go on a whim and say, you know what? I don't have any plans. Get down with your bad self. Let's do it. Why front about how busy you are? Because when you end up being in a relationship with someone eventually, they'll be like, when we were dating, you were always busy, but now I can't get rid of you. Throw caution to the wind and have a great adventure. You deserve to have fun.
Yes, I love it. We deserve to have fun. I deserve to have fun. Martinez Sellers, deserves to have fun. Listen, this is his first time on the Mental Health Matters with Marty show, but this will definitely not be his last time. This brother is so dope. And listen, y'all already love him because he got this English accent that I just don't have. But we are so glad to have none other. Welcome for the first time, none other than my boy, my brother from another mother, none other than Trey Hamilton. Yeah, Trey, what's up, man?
How do you do? How do you do? Pleasure. Absolute pleasure to be amongst your presence.
Listen, the pleasure is all mine. Definitely, man. Okay. You got to tell us now. You have this amazing accent that is driving, I'm sure, a lot of people crazy. Talk to us about where you're originally from. And you're in my neck of the woods, Columbus, Ohio. But that accent is definitely not a Midwest accent from Ohio. So talk to us. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. So, yeah, born and raised in England. We have 3 generations over there. After the First World War, my great granddad moved to the UK, and we've been there ever since. So I moved to America, specifically New York, after my MBA in 2012, and I've been here ever since. I feel like America is my second home, and it's where I've had the most professional, spiritual, and social growth.
Wonderful, man. We love that. We love that. Because, we don't get across I've never been across the Great Pond, but it's my desire to get across there sometime in the near future, no later than 2023. I definitely want to go out and hang out because I want to see the Big Ben and I want to go see Buckingham Palace and all that fun stuff. Because just to say, I've been in London on a cloudy day and had tea and crumpets and to see what that's like.
The women will love you. The women will love you.
Yes. Trey, talk to us, man. You are like this guru when it comes to the first date. That can be so scary, but tell us who you are first and foremost and what got you on this whole thing about the first date.
Yeah, for sure. So around 2017, I got out of this terrible breakup. We were together for quite a while. And when it happened, I went back on the dating market. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And, I got torn apart. I got taken advantage of. I had a lot of foodie dates. I was dropping hundreds of dollars on these first dates and I wasn't really seeing success. And that was because I was making a lot of mistakes and I wasn't really looking inside myself. And once I started kind of learning, the game, so to speak, and once I started learning how modern dating is, it allowed me to find myself and it allowed me to work in different facets of myself that I realized if you work on yourself and things that make a man a good man, then that's really the success, finding good dates and people that you're most likely to match with. And then I started to matchmake people, and then I started doing consulting unofficially. Then I decided to do a website. Then I decided to, record videos. So it all kind of progressed naturally because essentially I feel like dating is so hard, even for the most attractive people, that I wanted to be in a position where I could help everyone out. You have dating coaches these days where you have a man dating coach who is only for women, right? He kind of plays on their emotions. You have a female dating coach who is only for men because it preys on those men who haven't had dates in years, decades even. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I just want to give universal advice for everyone without bashing either gender.
I love that. I love that. Yes, because we single folk are still trying to recover from Valentine's Day. That's the day that emphasizes your singleness more than any other day of the year. You don't have a Valentine. My daughter plays this song from Pete the Cat, says, no cards for me on Valentine's Day. And I'm like, is that the song for every single person in the world? Well, I should say in the world, at least in America. No cards for me on Valentine's Day. And it's just like, wow, I got one. No, I lied. I got 3 cards. One from my mom, one from my son, which I'm grateful for, and one from one of the young ladies at church. But she was married. So I'll take it.
Oh,
hello, Auntie. Well, she's married and fully pregnant, so she was giving out to everyone. So it wasn't personal.
okay,
So,
okay. I was like, that's scandalous. And you get it when you get it.
Hey, listen, we take it wherever we can.
Right. I was gonna say.
Have you seen that it's a one of those reality shows? She talks about how she is going back into the dating pool, and she goes, "I'm sure it's full of pee from kids, just full of you." And that's how I really do feel some days, that the dating pool is full of pee because people then pissed on each other, that we no longer have the palate for dating. Talk about this whole thing of first dating, because that's a scary one. I heard when you said, because we will drop, especially men, we're almost expected to drop hundreds of dollars on a first date that may go left.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 components to what you said, right? Like the dating pool is full of pee, in the sense that there's an old saying where they say that an eye for an eye makes the world go blind, and we're literally seeing the dating community go blind right now, because everyone's damaged by what someone has previously done to them in the dating community.
Yes.
They are projecting that onto someone else. I remember, about 3 years ago, I went on like a couple of dates with this lovely lady, and in that time we were intimate with each other. And one day I was just kind of like, I said, yeah, I went out with my boys last night. It was fun. She's like, oh, did you have any girls kind of hitting you? I said, yeah, but I like to focus on getting to know you. She was like, oh, are we not dating other people? I said, have you been dating other people? She was like, yeah, you didn't have a conversation with me. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I said, have you been intimate with other men? She was like, yeah, I have. And I was just kind of like, that's how dating is these days. Like, there's people like, unless you have a conversation with someone and you're sleeping with them, you have to assume they're sleeping with other people, which is just nuts to me, because it means that essentially the basic paradigm of human decency is kind of out the window. Like, sharing intimacy with someone is no longer something that is awesome between the both of you. Now it's just kind of like, well, everyone's doing it, so why aren't you?
Right.
And when it comes to, what was the second part of your question? You were talking about, oh, you lost me. What was the second part of your question?
I think the second part really was about this whole thing about first dates and spending a whole lot of money, because you triggered me when you said, you have this clip that I absolutely love, and you said, why are you trying to spend hundreds of dollars going to these games, going to these expensive restaurants, when your first date should really be around Starbucks or something like that? Because if that is the case, and you find interesting conversation, so now we're not focusing on the food, but we're focusing on the actual conversation. Talk to me some more about that philosophy and your stance on that.
Yeah, so I mean, not to, people don't take me as an example, but I met my partner when I literally just let go in the pandemic, right? So I got my consultancy fired up a bit more. I told her from the jump.
Right.
Just yesterday, we flew back from New York. I flew her out there first class with me. And I don't say that to brag, but what I'm saying is the only thing
first class.
The only thing I had in that first date was, $15 to get us a cup of coffee, and we walked through the park, right? So essentially, for me, when it comes to you specifically being a man, no matter how progressive and modern we are, the expectation of you to be the provider is never going to go away. It's never going to go away, right?
Right.
But
Right.
there are always instances as a man where you could lose it all. You could lose absolutely everything. So it's important
Yes.
for us males to know that the core fiber of who we are, the communication, our soul, the very fabric, what we give out there is accepted and admired from the jump, as opposed to, well,
Yes.
my value is judged if I spend the increment amount of money on you, because in the long run, that's not going to mean anything. And I think, women are so empowered. Women are so independent. Women, are making more and more money